Hello people of the internet, welcome. I am KICdude, and before I even start, this is not really a outrage video like how I am appalled that Donald Trump won the presidency. This is more of an analysis of how he gained the elect. With that being said, how did Donald Trump win the presidency? Well, to do that, we're gonna have to break it down. Really, it comes down to marketing and campaigning and stuff like that. Because if you paid attention at all during this cycle, it really did have to do with that. If you pay attention, really close attention, and scour your brain, and you will realize I'm telling the truth. Now let's go to the first mark. He won the presidency. So what? Now what? Well, first and foremost, we have to pay attention to what his campaign was doing. From the start, we saw a Donald Trump that just said, okay, I'm running for presidency. And everyone turned and thought about what happened to California when they elected Arnold Schwarzenegger into the governor's seat. They thought, well, it's going to be another celebrity, he's not going to do much. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't do much when he was in the first term either, so we really shouldn't expect much from Donald Trump, so leave it, just ignore him, he'll go away. Then at his first rally, or I think even when he started out, he said this.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Yes, his famous quote that has been quoted by every media outlet ever and is still circulating to this day. And added at this point that most people say, well, now we're not going to trust him. No one's going to trust him. Only white xenophobic people are going to be voting for him. That's what people have said, and that's what people have done. But this is when Donald Trump got the idea of using all the media outlets to his advantage. What do I mean by this? Well, did you even think that you would know anything about Donald Trump if you didn't say everything that was against the grain? No. You would have never even thought of voting or even thought of listening to Donald Trump if he didn't start saying ridiculous things that go off the wall and don't even match anything and have going back and forth between his own opinions and basically just saying random stuff. Just, agreeing or disagreeing with the moderator. This is why a lot of people were paying attention, not even really paying attention, more like just pointing out the things that he's saying. And that's what the media stuff and media outlets were doing. They were using all the words that he was saying, and all the stuff that he was saying was being used against him, and every single little bit was being used against him. It was. But it was interesting to note that during this entire time, Donald Trump said nothing. He was saying nothing but just adding more wood to the fire. Keep putting wood in there. Keep going. It's going to blow up in your face eventually. And that's what the main point of this campaign was. Now, at this point, some people will be saying to themselves, well, this guy is obviously a Trump supporter. You'd be surprised. You'd really be surprised. Between the two, I really didn't want to vote for either, baby. I was actually playing keep away from Donald Trump. I was. And not because I really supported Hillary, but because between the two, Hillary had more time in office, and I just thought, at a resume standpoint, it made more sense. And that's what everybody saw when he was campaigning. A celebrity, know nothing, that really doesn't know what he's doing, so no one's going to vote for him. Throughout his campaign, he's been quoted as saying so many things, and just making all this stuff up, and just going along with stuff and not really paying attention, not really doing anything. At some point, I realized one thing, alright? This little tiny realization that was niggling in the back of my brain was that he was playing the possession game. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, anybody who follows sports will know what I mean by the possession game. It's very simple, and it goes as follows. If you have more time with possession of the ball, or anything you have, the puck, the baseball, anything, you have more possession with it, you, by default, have better chances of winning. Now, how does this incorporate with anything of Donald Trump? Well, if you go to any of the primaries, any of the debates, anything, he used the media, everything, to gain more spotlight time. I think throughout all of the campaigns, Trump had basically double or triple the amount of time on just in general on TV, in general on the internet, in general on Twitter, everything. He had more time. And just because of that, I was like, he's not playing the possession game, is he? Is he really playing the possession game? Because nobody else is. And then he played the stab game. Basically, this is a video game term. A stab game is where you use the opponent's weakness against them. It's the same thing with Pokemon. You use stab damage, and it was working. And it was at that point I was like, he's playing Pokemon. Freaking Donald Trump was playing Pokemon the entire time. He was playing the long game, making your opponent wait forever to get a chance at even trying. That's the point where you use Paralyze and Yawn. What do I mean by this? Well, if anybody knows Pokemon, you know that there are tactics like Paralyze, Confuse, anything of that sort. You have Yawn, you have Snore, all this stuff. And when your opponent can't do anything, that's when you use your time to attack. So what was Donald Trump doing? He was doing that. He was using that possession, poisoning all of his other opponents' sides by saying little tiny things, little tiny misdirects that his opponents couldn't react to, or his opponents could say something to, but it wasn't as effective as the point that Donald Trump already had made, and it wasn't as poignant because the audience is already cheering at that point. It was a straight up Pokemon battle, and basically he won. He won all of the battles because he didn't let them give him a chance to even attack. He didn't even give him a chance to even say anything. He didn't even give him a chance to say anything. He was interrupting as much as he could so he can have more time in the spotlight, using the advantage that the media will say that Donald Trump is interrupting every single sentence, and then from there, using little misdirects in every sentence to say, no, you're wrong, stop, you're wrong, that is incorrect, and everything. It was just amazing to see the amount of effort, the campaign that he was putting on. The show he was putting on was just impressive. And then, right, as soon as he does this, right, the rally beforehand was riled up with all of the same things, the xenophobia, everything. And then he gets elected. And that's the point where I was like, what? Okay, so I'm going to show you a clip of before the election and then show you the clip afterwards.
President, we will suspend the Syrian refugee program. Clinton's hired the thugs, right, for $1,500 apiece. $1,500 and a cell phone. We will build what? We're going to build the wall. And here's a little quiz. I'm sure you're never going to be able to guess this. Who is going to pay for the wall? How did you guess?
Okay, that was before. Now this is after.
Hillary has worked very long and very hard over a long period of time, and we owe her a major debt of gratitude for her service to our country. For those who have chosen not to support me in the past, of which there were a few people, I'm reaching out to you for your guidance and your help so that we can work together and unify our great country. We have a great economic plan. We will double our growth and have the strongest economy anywhere in the world. At the same time, we will get along with all other nations willing to get along with us. I want to tell the world community that while we will always put America's interests first, we will deal fairly with everyone, all people and all other nations. We will seek common ground, not hostility, partnership, not conflict.
Huh? What was that guy? Huh? What was that Donald Trump? Where was that dude when everybody was criticizing him of being xenophobic? Where was that dude when he wanted to build a wall? All that stuff. Where was that guy? Guess what? It was in his back pocket. Okay? He started poisoning you and everything and did all this stuff, and then guess what? All he did was use your weakness. Guess what? I wasn't like that at all. I used an HM. It was crazy to see how much he had gone through to make sure he passed the line. And then, guess what? You know what? It was his ace in the hole. It was in his back pocket the entire time. And it's so true that it hurts. And it left me so confused because I wasn't voting one way or the other because I was trying to prove a point or something. I voted one way because I thought the other person who had experience would do better. And then it kind of, all the gears of this advertising ploy kind of chicked when I remembered he said one thing.
I've never said I'm a perfect person, nor pretended to be someone that I'm not. I've said and done things I regret, and the words released today on this more than a decade-old video are one of them. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am.
When I remembered he said that line, I lost it. I said, are you serious? Are you serious? This was all marketing. It was all a PR stunt. It was crazy. And it was very much true. And it hurts to say it, but man, we felt his business prowess. And it was just so much in-your-face marketing that you can't even deny that it was. And the only comparison I could ever think to this type of marketing would be the head-on headache medication, those commercials. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about because you were born either before or haven't even heard of them, let me play a little clip for you.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on. Available at Walgreens.
You are now scarred for the rest of your life. You will now know what that is till you die. It was crazy. And that's the only thing I could think about it, that, dang, we fell for it. We did it. We hit hard. We didn't even know what he was capable of because of all the stuff that he was doing. But guess what? It worked, and he's where he is now. I'm going to leave that here. Maybe I enlighten your day, or if you have any questions as to why I came up with the conclusion that I did, you can leave it in the comment section below. And if you are listening and still hate me, listen, you're not going to change my opinion because you are yelling in the comments. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to leave the discussion here. If you like what you heard, love me, and I love you back. Because I will see you guys next time.